Hey guys. Oh my god, I can't believe I lost the other connection. I'm so sorry about that, guys. I had to start the whole thing because I'm seeing people still asking questions I haven't answered. So if you receive notification, you will have to join this one instead. Please forgive me. I didn't know my laptop wasn't on charge and I didn't realize the battery was even going low. So I had to I mean, this is very like what happened? I was just talking, forgetting I have to put my laptop on charge, and it didn't give me any signal that my battery was getting low. So the laptop just went off. Hey, my village people. So please, this is the reason why it's important to turn on your post notification bell icon because if you don't get notification for what I do, you are going to miss out. So if you have notification and you receive it, please join this one and end the other session. Let is a continuation. So end that one and join this one and please share it to if you know someone who was in the previous or who needs to join and hasn't joined, please share it to them. And I think for me not to miss out on your questions that you asked, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the questions from the previous charts and answer them here so that I don't need to type. Okay. I still have access to it because I didn't end that live stream. So I still have access to that. So I will just be reading your questions from that one and I'll be answering it here. Um, where do I start from? Okay. So Peace is saying, I think most people are being turned down because they are not looking at the job description and how to align their supporting information with it, which is very, very true. So if you go to, as I was saying, if you go to a job, don't be too eager to apply. If you do that, you're going to get many applications turned down. You think you're frustrated and all that. You have to put in the read the job description. Your supporting information has to be clear and concise. Fill the job well. What happened is sometimes you apply for the job and even the details you put in are not correct. So if let's say they ask you, do you have NMC registration for this post? And you say yes. If you once you say yes, they're going to ask you for your PIN number and all that. Meanwhile, you don't have it. So you just have to state that you've applied for it. Okay, so you've applied for the NMC job. So that is how to sorry, not for the NMC job, for the NMC PIN, you've applied for it. So that's a way to go. Please, guys, if you have been in my previous life, that one has ended because of it hasn't ended, but I can't have access to it because I was just cut in the middle of that one. So you can join this very one. But I'm reading the questions from the other one to be answering them. And you can still have access to the live after we finished everything. You can still go back and have a replay just in case you missed out on anything. But so that is it. I think I've exceeded my 1 hour already, but there are still questions I need to answer. So let me quickly sum this up and then we can reschedule at another time or I can do videos on them as time goes on. So Ivan is asking, can I work with both the NHS and the care home, do part-time in one? Of course. Of course. That is one thing people don't know. I think that is why people look down on the care home jobs, which is not, is very rude if you to do that. You can do the care home and do your part-time in NHS. I mean, it solely depends on you. But let me give you a clue here. Read your contract well before signing it. Some of the contract will tell you that you can't work for a second employer outrightly. Some will tell you you can't work for a second employer, but you have to notify your first employer that you are working for a second employer. So read your contract well to know how flexible you are going to be in that job. Funny enough, it is not a legal, duty or responsibility of any employer to disclose his employment status to his current employer. I don't know if I'm making sense. So um it's not like you are tied to tell your current employer that, oh, I'm going to do the second job. It's not done. But because it's the contract is a legal document, and once they put that clause in the contract and you sign, it means you have agreed to it. So you have to obey it, you have to go by it, so that they will not drag you in case something happens. So read your contract well. If your contract says you can't do a second job, think twice. It means you can only work with that trust for as far as that contract lasts. So please read well. But if it doesn't restrict you, you can do this job and do that job. It doesn't really matter. I don't know. Jay is saying, hey, I don't want to do bedside nursing. What other part of nursing can be explored? Also, can you briefly talk about travel nurses? So, Jay, there are a lot of beautiful parts of nursing that are not bedside. So these are mostly specialty areas. So in the UK, they have vast specialty nurses. So you can go through the vascular access, the renal, the like endoscopy. Those ones are nursing, but it's not community. For example, is not bedside. So you do your nursing work, but you don't have a patient staying in the units like you are nursing a patient. So they come and go. You just do what you have to do for them. If it's a procedure, you can just do that procedure for them and they are gone. So that's the other opportunities that you can explore. So we have the community nursing. You can go into vascular access. That is just setting lines, setting cannulas. So you go like ward by ward. You take blood samples. You cannulate people. You set central lines. You set peak lines. You set, I mean, all those lines. Just doing those things. That is another area to look into. Dialysis nursing is there. There are a lot of specialty nursing vacancies here, but most of them want you to have the basics of the UK experience before they can give you that specialty role. It is just 1 in 1,000 times that you'll be fortunate to get the specialty straight away without having any UK background, knowledge. So there are a lot. Once you come in, you can diverse at any time. And Jay, I spoke about the travel nursing as well, which is also called the agency nursing. That is what they call it here. So the travel nursing is just the agency nursing. This time you cannot do that. That kind of nursing cannot be done in your trust. So you have to go to another place to do it. So you have to travel to another place to do it. So they're just traveling around and they don't keep you in one trust. Sometimes they can just scatter you around if you are happy to do it. So that you can just go to, let's say like where I am, I can go to London and do agency. I can go to, let's say, Gillingham and do agency. I can go to Kent. I can go here, like just traveling around once you're happy to do it. So Jay, that is it. And thanks for welcoming me back, Jay. Thanks so much. So that's my. I've answered your question, I hope. So that's travel nursing, which also is good. You just have to be proactive in it. Once you have your 6 months nursing experience in the UK, you have your pain, you have your competencies signed off, like your medication, your cannulation, those petty things that makes you stand out of your nursing. You can go for it. Ilamade Janet is asking, I have a question, please. Is it advisable to get married first before starting the UK process, or should I wait and get a job before going for a court wedding? It all depends on you. Some people just are on the verge of their visa application and they get married, like 1 week to visa application, and they get married. It's your choice. You can also do it way before you start your application. It's your choice. Some even come to the UK, settle, go back and marry. Like you know that you have the person already, but you're not married yet. So you come over, do everything, you go back, you marry, and you bring the person with you. So that one, they don't have like any restriction to it. You can do it anyhow you want it. You can do it anyhow you want it, Janet. I hope I've answered your question. Ivan is asking, soon we will be there with you and you'll be doing live interviews with us. I'm doing whatever it takes to. Like Ivan, I am so much looking forward to have you guys. I can't wait for my VIPs like you guys to come over for me to have my live sessions, my live interviews with you, telling people how we've been through it all. I mean, I'll be looking forward to it. So yeah, that is it. Um, Next piece it says, Safina, look at NHS hospitals in places where you want to work. Go to the hospital's website or email and send your document to them. Perfect. So Peace is very, I mean, she's on top of the chart for this particular live. She's giving a lot of vital information out there. And yes, so Peace is also saying that no, I've read Pieces comments already. Nasanda is saying, I want to travel together with my husband. At what point in the process do I tell my employers that I want to come along with him so that they can take off that portion in the COS? So, one thing that happens is your COS, if you want to travel with your husband, the earlier you tell them, the better. So that they make provision. Sometimes they can give you the type of accommodation that can accommodate you and your husband for that period of time that you are coming over. So I would say that the earlier you tell them, the better. But don't tell them when you haven't gotten your job offer. Please wait till you get wait till you get a job offer. Like you've seen that they've really given you a job offer. And we have two types of the job offer. So we have the conditional and unconditional. So the conditional can change, but the unconditional cannot change. The unconditional comes immediately before your how do we call it, before your COS. So once you get the unconditional job offer, you let them know that you want to come with your spouse. If they are not going to provide accommodation, then that is where the challenge is going to come. That means you would have to source accommodation on your own, and that's quite expensive. So your husband can live in a hotel or with a relative. If you have any friends here and he's happy to live with them, he can move in with them. That is if they do not give you the accommodation that can accommodate both of you. So that's a bit of a challenge, but communication is key. Let them know you want to travel with your husband. If they have any provisions for you, they are going to help you with that. If not, then you can do it yourself. Ask friends, ask relatives who can help you to get them a place to live. So I think I have answered the questions on the previous chat. So now I'm switching to this new chat. If you know anybody who was on the live in the other one, please tell them. I am deeply sorry, guys. I never saw this happening. Like I have my laptop charger here. I have it here, not knowing it wasn't connected properly. So I thought I had connected it and it was charging. It wasn't connected. And I didn't check the notification to see it wasn't connected. So I just went off abruptly and there was nothing I could do. And it was still playing. So I have to end that one now. I'm going to end that live session now. And then I come over to this. If you are hearing me, let me just type on that one so that they can join the this particular one I'm doing. Oh, unfortunately, I can't type because I told you guys, once that live chat ends, you can't type anything. Unfortunately, it has ended. I am not able to type in anything, so please forgive me. But if you have subscribed to the channel and you receive notifications, you will know that you receive notification for this particular one I'm doing now. So I have changed, you know, I have switched over. So now I am on this one. Right, let's get right into this. So if you are joining this live stream, give it a like. I will be ending this at 6 p.m. So I targeted to do this live stream for 1 hour, but unfortunately things have happened that I didn't have control over, and it's going to prolong the live stream. So I'm going to end it at 6 o'clock UK time instead of 5 o'clock. So I've added an extra hour to make room for anyone who might have missed that other one. I am so sorry, guys. So right, I will just be let me start going through my topics whilst I wait for other people to join and whilst I read or I answer these questions as well. So you're welcome to this live stream. If it's your first time of seeing my face, my smooth face, my name is Rebecca Ajiman. I'm a Ghanaian trained registered nurse and I've been practicing in England with the NHS. I am currently in a specialty unit. I am in endoscopy And this is me. I live a simple life. I created this channel not to show off or to make noise, just to help people, to encourage, to inspire, and to let people see that there is something going on at the other side of life. If they are interested, they can join. So people have attacked me since I started this channel, asking me why I am promoting overseas nurses coming over to the UK to work. Disclaimer, I am not being paid by anyone for what I do. If I'm being paid by anyone at all, is on YouTube and it's the adverts I do. Even that one, like $1, 1 cent, 1 penny is no money. But I do this out of pure passion to help people who were like me in similar positions, some time back, or who are like me in similar positions now, who want to make their lives better. This is because I came to a land where I saw opportunities that I didn't know of. So I realized I had more opportunities here than I had back home. So why don't I encourage somebody to also come and have a feel of this opportunity? And on this channel, I also share fun and positive vibes. So I'll be doing some travel vlogs and all that. And I also spoke about doing some interviews with other overseas nurses just to empower our migrant and Black communities, for people to know that, hey, we are the true Vibes. Migrant nurses are really, really, really helping the health system of England or of the United Kingdom. So yeah, with time I will incorporate that into my channel. Try to interview people from all over the country, that's United Kingdom. So if you happen to be my subscriber and you're already in the UK or you are planning to come, just get in touch with me so that once I start that series, I can add you onto it, so that if you have a beautiful story, you can tell everyone. Mind you, if this is a live video, so all the chats here are live. But once I end the video, the chats here are not going to be shown. So you can't have access to the chats. You can just see and hear what I am saying, but you can have access to the video. So I'll leave the video to be online for some time, as long as I feel like. If I don't feel like, I take it off, but I'll leave it for some time for the benefit of those who are not able to join. So on the other session, we're talking about how to make money as overseas nurses. So we have ways of making money. We have 3 ways of making money. We have the agency shift, we have the bank shift, and we have the extra time or the overtime. So all these ways are ways of multiplying your income as an overseas nurse. Trust me, if you are going to be dependent on your 37.5 work hours salary, especially if you're in the care home, I'm sorry, you are not going to like really live that happy life. You will live life, but you won't live that vibrant life that you always want to live. So work hard, get some pounds, save. I always say save, 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 save. I met one man. I'm not trying to, I mean, tell what is happening, but this is just an eye opener. So this man is an African who has been in UK for a really long time. He's been in UK for over 30 years, and he met me. I don't know, there's something about me that when people see me, it's like they just disclose their things to me. So I met this man, and we started, we got into a conversation, and he was telling me he had a terminal illness, okay, and he was telling me how he wished he would go home to, continue his life, because his terminal illness is cancer. He's not going to live long. So he wants to go home, but he doesn't have the means. So I was asking, like, how would you stay in UK for over 30 years and you don't have the means? He worked really hard, but, priorities. So please, my advice is, as you are making the money, be conscious of how you spend it. I'll be sharing some money saving tips as well on this channel. This is a package, how to enter into properties that is going to, don't depend on one source of salary. So enter into properties that are going to bring you sources of income from all angles, so that in future you don't depend on anyone or you don't struggle to survive. Right. So Vijay Rai is saying, hello, ma'am. Hello, Rai. Hello. And thanks for joining this live stream. When the other one ended, I was so like, I felt so bad. How can I just end the live stream that I haven't planned to end in the middle of a program? I'm so sorry. But thank you guys for coming back. And Jay is saying, welcome, welcome. Thank you. Thank you, Jay. Thank you so much. India is saying, hello, ma'am. Is this job under NHS? Is a permanent job or private? NHS is a public work, so it is the biggest, it is the public health setting of England. I mean, not of England, of UK. So it's like a government hospital, as we call it back home. So it's a government hospital that is accessible to everyone. It's not private. And then apart from the NHS, we have the care homes, which we have some care homes that are under the NHS. Most people do not even know this, and they end up condemning care home jobs, especially in London. They have care homes that are owned by the NHS or that are taken care of by the NHS. So they are NHS owned, but they are care home just to take care of the elderly. And then we have private. So private are owned by private individuals. In terms of salary, the least paid is the NHS because it has many people to cater for. So it cannot be spraying money like spraying money. So the least paid is the NHS. The next most paid is the care home. So the care home pays more than the NHS. And then the private pays more than the care home. The private pays more than, so listen, the private pays high, followed by the care home. Then the NHS is at the bottom. But whichever section you want, as I was explaining, you can be in the care home and work for the NHS as part-time. You can be in the NHS and work for the care home as part-time. You can be in private and work for NHS as part-time. Nobody cares what you do. Once your contract doesn't restrict you, the UKVI is not against you doing a second job as far as it is the job on the short list or occupational whatever list. You can do it. So read your contract well, and you can use the system against itself. Work here, gather your coins and keep it moving, okay? Janet is saying, welcome back. Thank you so much, Janet. Thank you so much. Thank you, and thanks for coming back as well. Jay is saying, I'm in love with renal nursing. Jay, one thing is, whatever your heart feels, go for it. If you feel you love the renal nursing, even the renal nursing, they have renal in renal. I don't know if you get what I mean. They have renal in renal. This is the system in UK is very interesting. Like it is, if we say multidisciplinary, this is an example of multidisciplinary. This is an example, a typical example of multidisciplinary, like multidisciplinary. Things are well structured, especially in the NHS. So like me, I'm in the gastroenterology specialty. So under the gastroenterology specialty, we have the surgical wards, which take care of the GI conditions. We have endoscopy. We do the scopings only. We have the gastroenterology theaters. So they do only theaters pertaining to the gastroenterology or the GI tract. We have, so in the renal, we have renal. So we have dialysis. They have chemotherapy, renal chemotherapy. They have renal wards, renal units. They have catheterization units. They have, so it's like, so if you want to go into specialty, and renal nursing is one thing that you aspire, get your experience from a renal ward first to start with. You can go to a renal ward and be a nurse on a renal ward, and then you get the experience from there. Then out of that renal ward, you streamline yourself. So you can be a band 6 in a specialty in future. That is if it's one thing that you want. You can even be a band 5 in a specialty because me, I'm band 5. I don't even want to be band 6. No, that is a story for another day. So you can be a band 5 in a specialty unit. Once you are passionate about it, you go for it. And one thing is, if you're in the ward and you want to do specialty in your own trust, you can go to your trust intranet. So we have the trust intranet where they have the internal jobs. So if you open your trust web page, you can just see all the internal jobs in your trust, all the specialty and everything is there. If you want to apply for it, you speak to the manager or whoever is in charge of that unit. And then, if they're happy to have you, you go for it. Sometimes what happens is that, let's say you are interested in a specialty, you are on the ward. You first speak with your manager. I want to go to this specialty. They will provide something they call the shadowing. So they will give you a period of going on that specialty you want to go into to shadow. So you go and work in that specialty on like some days so that you observe what happens there. If you are happy with it, you come back and tell, oh, I think I'm happy with it, I'll go. Then she speaks with the manager on that ward, and then they start putting things for you to move to that ward. So that is how it works. So they don't just push you. You say you want to Renal, so go to Renal. No. You first speak with them, build good relationship with them. So you first speak with them. I want to go into Renal. She will tell the manager in the renal if they have some vacancies, they will let you know. Then they'll give you what we call the shadowing. So you go to the renal unit, you see what happens there on one particular day, on 2 days, 3 days. You see everything that happens there. If you are happy with it, you tell, I think I'm happy with it, I'd like to go. Then they start the process for you. If you want to leave your trust to another trust to do that specialty too, it is very easy. You just go to the track job or the website of that particular trust. They have the jobs there. Here, people don't hide jobs. They are very transparent with everything. They've posted it there. You see this job. I think I can do this. Even ITU. I know people who don't have any skill in ITU, and today they are pros in ITU. They are in their element of being ITU nurses. So you just tell them, I want to go into ITU. You fill the application, submit your documents. They interview you. You do visa change. They give you another COS. You leave your trust, you go. Simple. That is how things work. So if you're in love with it, please pursue it. Okay. I love the care home. Like, honestly, for some time now, I have been considering going to the care home. I am still thinking about it, but it's something I will pursue. So watch out, guys. If you hear I've moved from the NHS to care home, don't come after me. I'm following my dream, just like you're all following your dream. You're following your renal nursing. So if you see me following my care home dream, allow me. I have Josie. Josie is saying, hello, ma'am. Hello, Josie. Thanks for joining my live stream. So Joey is asking, can overseas nurse living in London be able to save sufficiently as compared to those outside? This is due to cost of living there in London. So Josie, one thing about living and working in London that people do not know is London pays more than anywhere else in the UK. So if you go to online and you are searching for jobs in NHS in London, for instance, in the outskirts per annum, a band 5 nurse is paid 2,400. Sorry, what am I saying? I lie. Let me come back again. If you are working in the outskirts of London, an NHS band 5 salary is paid £24,907 per annum. So that's for the whole year. You divide it by 12, you take out taxes. So you're going to get like 1,600 if you are not doing overtime. So that is for nurses outside of London. Nurses in London, even in the London, it depends on the part of London you are. So, we have Greater London, Central London, Northwest, Northeast. But the standard of salary in London is £29,888 per annum. So it's 29,888 per annum. That is what nurses in London take. So if you divide this by 12, you're going to get like £2,500. After tax deduction, you're going to get like £1,900 to £2,000. That will be your take home for London. And if one truth most people do not know, if you are a single person living in London, the sky is it's not even your limit. Like, the sky is your starting point, because you earn more. If you are happy to work more, you earn more. So if you're a single person and you can share accommodation, and one thing about living in London, don't try to live on your own. If you are single, you will work and use all the money to pay bills. So the smartest way to live there, if you're a single person, is to share accommodation. So you live with other people in the house. So it's like a whole house. You live in one room. You share kitchen and living room, sometimes toilet and bath if it's not an ensuite, so that you can pay less. You can work more, earn more, you pay less. So you gather all the money living in London, and then later, if you want to get a mortgage, you move to the outskirts. So that's how some people do it. But if you have a family, living in London is expensive, unless, of course, you have a spouse and both of you are working like good, you have good salary and you can cater for all those bills, then that's fine. So the salary to me is sufficient because it's more. So the cost of living is more, the salary is more, you can survive, you have life. If you are the chilling type, you want to see everything evolving around you, Like you go underground, you come on top of the ground, you move in the trains, you go here, you pass here. It's a nice place. It's a very busy place. It has lots of opportunities. It's multicultural. If we talk about multicultural, London is the is the epitome of multiculturalism. Like you see every shade of person in this world, you find them in London. So it's multicultural. It's easy for you to find people within your circles to move with more than living in the outskirts that you may not find like people within your tribe or your country or whatever to mingle with. So that is it for London. Janet is asking, I have a question. The other time, my question is it advisable to get married? Oh, Janet, I answered this question. You said, is it advisable to get married before I start my UK process, or I should wait till I get my job? Mind you, my fiance and I is ready to settle. So, Jane, I think I answered it, but you were not. That was when I was switching over. The network was interrupted and all that. So I answered it at the beginning of this particular stream. So I was saying that it totally depends on you. You can get married, now. Then you start your process. Once you get your job, whatever your COS, you apply together with your fiancé, you come together. That's if what you want. That's if you want to do it that way. You can also wait till a week to move in, a day to move in, then you marry. Or you can come, get some money, he gets some money, you go back and marry. So it's not like there is no restriction as far as marriage is concerned. I mean, this country, they embrace everything you can think of. That is one beauty of this country. It has a good side, it has a bad side. They embrace every single thing you think of. I'm not trying to judge, but lesbianism, gayism, whatever, every divorce, single mothers, anything, they embrace it. So they don't put restriction on you to get married at this point before you can come. You can marry today and do your application tomorrow. Once you have the documents to prove, they like paperwork, documentation. This country, hey, they love it. So once you have your marriage certificate to prove that you are married, you have pictures of your ceremony to show that you and your spouse are like really married. It's not like a fake one or anything. You've signed your court, whatever. You are good to go, girl. You are good to go. So that is it. India is saying, thank you, ma'am. Thank you also, India. Ivan, I can see you. India is saying, ma'am, with starting salary of band 5, can one live a decent life? Honestly, it all depends on your way of life. But if you want to live, I think I've done a video that is supposed to come, it should have come up today. But because of this live stream, I delayed it. So that video is a detailed video of your income and expenditure. Please, if that video comes up, do well to try to watch to the end. I've given a breakdown of how things like work. So, India, I don't know your situation. Are you alone or you are with family? I don't know if you're married or you have kids or anything. Okay, let me know. If you are alone, honestly, even if you don't do overtime, the band 5 starting salary without overtime should be enough for you. It should be enough. How much are you spending? How much? How much? If you get a rent, a nice place, if you are sharing accommodation, you are paying like 700. It's okay. It depends on even where you are. If you are in Manchester and those places, they are cheaper and they are nice to live there. You can live a decent life, honey. You can go on holidays. You can do things. But if you have kids, that is where the thing comes in. You have to work extra because childcare is expensive. So if you're alone, that's cool. You can live on your band 5 salary, but you can also do extra shifts if you want to get more. Jay is saying, man, this renal structure, this is renal in renal. Yeah, so that's how things work. So, I mean, specialty here in UK, even with the gastroenterology one I was saying, we even have bowel cancer screen in the gastroenterology. We have colorectal cancer nurses. We have peg insertion nurses. We have, I can't even finish mentioning it. I can't finish mentioning it. So even a GI, like GI specialty, there are thousands of specialty in the. We have nurse endoscopists. I even forgot to mention that. So you can be a nurse endoscopist. You just work like a consultant. You also scope patients. You do everything just like a doctor does, but you are a nurse. So as for the specialties, there are countless of them that you can delve into, limitless. Like you can go everywhere you want to go. Okay, so India is saying, ma'am, can one jump to straight way to band six after clearing examination? I mean, in is there any exam system to gain higher position? Right. Okay. This is not out part of what we try to discuss, but India has brought it up, so I'll just briefly talk about it. With the structure of the NHS for registered nurses, it starts from band 5, 6, 7, 8, and the highest is 9. So what happens is if you've not gotten your pin, you are band 4. Even some start with band 3, but that is the pre-registration nurse, which is a very brief phase. After you get your pin, you move to band 5. Nobody is going to jump you to band 6 when you haven't gone through band 5. That one, if somebody promises you that, Madu, they are not telling you the truth. You have to be in band 5 first, at least for a period of 6 months. So within that 6 months, that is where you prove your inclusion. If you really want to get to band 6 fast, like that's within that 6 months, you should learn as fast and as much as you can. So do things, try to show interest in things, try to be involving, be proactive, ask questions, be inquisitive. One thing we blacks is a disadvantage to us is the way we've been brought up. We are not proactive, like we are not inquisitive. But here they rush with things. Like you see people, they are doing things and they expect you to be the way they are. So be inquisitive, be proactive, ask questions, be smart, be knowledgeable, show interest at work. If you do these things at the end of your 6 months of probation, you start, showing interest in your band 6. I know people who were in UK 8 months from band 5, they enter band 6 already, like that fast, because they proved their inclusion. If you are like somebody like me who doesn't want promotion, forget about it. We are okay with our band 5. We die here. Band 5, we die here. But if you want to advance, be proactive, ask questions, be smart, show your inclusion, show interest, do courses, ask your manager, is there anything I can do? Is that, once you do those things, you can be band 6 in no time, but you cannot be band 6 when you haven't been band 5. It doesn't happen that way. And then when you get to band 6 is the junior sister. So you are in charge of the band 5s. You make sure the band 5s are doing things the right way. You are mentoring the band 5s, the students, and all that. Like you are doing administrative role and then your nursing role all together. From band 6, you move to band 7. So that's where you become the band 7s are the ward managers. Some are also matrons. So you are managing a whole unit, a whole ward. And with that, you have to do courses. You have to be in the service for some time. You have to have showed. But I met one lady. I told you I'm a very interactive person. So when I meet people, I want to ask questions. Like I want to know what's happening. I mean, I met a lady who has been in UK under 2 years, and she was a band 7. She was the manager. She's from the Philippines. She's a Filipino. She was a manager of a ward. And I was asking, how did it happen so fast? How did you get here? From band 5 to band 7 in less than 2 years. And that is how things work. If you are fortunate and the vacancy comes, you go for it. Go for it. And one thing about being in the specialty unit is, if you're in a specialty unit and there is a promotion, somebody cannot come from outside. It's very difficult for someone to come from outside to do that position. So they mostly consider those of you who are already in the place. So let's say you are in renal. Today, renal is the topic because Jay has brought it. Let's say you are in renal. It's a specialty. And there is a band 6, you're a band 5, and there is a band 6 vacancy in that renal unit. They can't bring me from endoscopy to come and be a sister in renal. What do I know in renal? I will be lost. So they will consider those of you who are in renal for that position before they'll consider anybody else. So that is one beauty of also being in the specialty unit. The next question is, I don't want to miss anybody's question. That's why I'm taking my time. We have Dorcas Boateng. Thanks, Dorcas, for joining us. So Dorcas is asking, what are the best banks in the UK to use for your salary for nurses? We have lots of banks. I've not even, I think I should do a video on this. What a nice video idea for me. We have lots of banks here in the UK, lots of banks, which are all good. When I first came, something happened. I have lots of stories to tell, but sitting down to make the video is the problem. So I have 3 bank accounts here in the UK with 3 big banks. What I will say is most of the banks are good. I haven't had any major issue with most of them. And as young as I am in the UK, some of the banks have already started sending me mortgage application like that fast. Car application, car loans application, and all that. So most of the banks are cool. We have Barclays. I think somebody has mentioned Barclays in the comment section. Like we have Barclays. I save with Barclays, but it's not an active account. We have Lloyd's. That is where I save with Lloyd's as well, but that is my salaried account. So Lloyd's Bank. I'm not promoting any bank here. We have Halifax, which is also a good bank. We have Santander, which is also good. I mean, all their banks are okay. And here, because the banks are many and it's competitive, they all have good customer care. The only problem I had in the beginning was with Barclays Bank. But because Emmanuel has mentioned Barclays, I don't want to offend anybody here, please. Barclays people shouldn't come after me. I had a problem with Barclays Bank, which was later solved. And since then, it's been cool. So I'm okay with them. We also have HSBC, which is also a good bank. We have NATS. Is it NAT or NATS? NATS Bank. We have the banks are many. I don't have them off head. So probably I'll try and put down a video on it, because some people have asked me when they came to the UK, they contacted me, which bank do you think we should open? Which bank? Okay, so you've opened my eye to something. I will do that. So I think I've answered your question, Dorcas. Let me know if I have. Ivan is asking, Rebecca, can I shift from adult nursing to neonatal intensive care after getting my pain? What are my requirements? One thing about UK here is the NMC register has diverse entries. And the fact that we are saying specialties are many doesn't mean you can enter any specialty. Okay, so let's say you've done your CBT, you've done your OSCE as an adult nurse. If you want to do mental health nurse, you have to do the whole thing again to enter the register as a mental health nurse. However, you may be fortunate, depending on your background from home. Let's say you've done pediatrics from home. You came here to do adult nursing. You want to go back to doing the pediatrics. If you are very fortunate, they can put you on some short courses to get that pediatric, certificate here, and then you move into those specialties. But moving into it straight is not really easy like that, because here pediatrics is a specialty on its own. Maternity is a specialty on its own. And adult nursing is a specialty. Mental health nursing is a specialty. So if you're an adult nurse, you can do all the specialties in adult nursing. But once you are moving to pediatrics, which is another unit, it has to be a lot of things. So you can start by doing short courses here in the UK. You can go online and search for short courses here. You can do these short courses. You get the certificate that can let you move into that area. If it is an area you want to look into the future, you can go onto them. But sometimes I know people who were doing agency shifts in NHS Trust when the COVID was really, really high. They didn't have much staff. So they were adult trained nurses, but they were moved to pediatric wards to work. And they worked. I mean, there is no much difference. Like, but here, once they say this is it, this is it. If they say pediatrics is specialty. Even if you know how to do it from home, they see it as a treasured something. So you have to do the courses to make up to be able to fit in. So I hope I've answered your question. So if you want to move into neonatal intensive care unit, it's not just neonatal, intensive care, which is another specialty on its own. So you have to do, if you want to be on top of the game, do the courses and get into it. That is the advice I can give. Jay is asking, why don't you want band 6? Jay, I don't want pressure. I have 3 kids. And now my priority is for these 3 kids to join me. Like, it's been a while. I miss them. I don't want to add any extra responsibility on my head. Once my kids come here, I want to have that time, that mommy time, because it's once in a lifetime. I can't get this. I'm not saying when you're band 6, you won't get time, but it's demanding for me. That's what I see. People are in it and they are on top of their game. They are doing really well. I don't see myself in it for now. I even want to go to care home, not to talk of band 6. I want to go to care home and have my peace of mind. Okay, so Iman is saying I should do a video on the banks. Okay, cool. But I think the banks should pay me once I do a video. Like, it looks like I'm going to be promoting them. So they should be paying me. I'll think about it, but I'll do a video on it. I'll definitely do a video on it. Emmanuel is saying I've been very informative. Thank you also. Thanks for joining. I mean, without you, I wouldn't be here being happy and talking like this. I love to talk. I really love to talk. Yaltofo is saying Starling Bank. Very good. Right. You see there. So there is Starling Bank. I have heard of Starling Bank, but I don't save there. I know all the banks in UK are good. Starling Bank is also a very good bank. And all the banks also have packages and opportunities that you can, saving with them. I've not heard of anyone having a major problem of saying like a bank has done this or a bank has done that. Even if, and here too, they are security conscious, so they protect your account like, they protect it like something. Sometimes you are sending money from your own account. The money is yours. You have authorized the money to go out of your account. They will block the transaction because they are not sure it is from you. They will block it and call you to ask you or send you a message to call to confirm that it's really you sending the money. So as for security, even if somebody is going to fraud you, it's going to be very difficult. It's going to be very difficult. And most of these banks have, as I said, they have the car loans, they have the mortgage loans, they have nice packages that are very interesting if you want to join. India is asking, is intensive care unit RN are more patients than other area RN? Do they earn more than others? What happens here is, the agenda for change is like a fixed salary across. So if it's NHS, it doesn't matter your specialty unit or whatever. Once you are band 5, they pay according to band. They don't pay according to units or specialties. So if you are band 5 in this place and band 5 in that place, you will earn the same basic salary. It is only when you are promoted to band 6 that your salary will change. But band 6 in another specialty and you band 6 in this specialty, you all earn the same. So here they pay according to band. They don't pay according to specialty or anything. And one thing is, if you are looking into going into specialty, I forgot to mention about this. Look at specialties that can let you do more overtime to get money. Otherwise, you are doing specialty, but you won't get money because, let's say you are band 6 in specialty. You are earning band 6 salary is 31,000 something to, is it 33? I don't have it off head, but that is band 6. If you don't get overtime to do there, that is what you earn. Somebody who is band 6 on the ward will get overtime in the ward to do. They'll earn more than you. So you are a specialty nurse. It's nice. Like me now, I'm in endoscopy. It's nice. But my mates on the ward are making money than me because I don't do overtime. I don't work weekend. I don't do night. I don't do holiday. As I'm here today, it's holiday. I'm doing YouTube live. My colleague is working on the ward. He is making 2 times of his salary today. I am here doing YouTube live. So it's nice doing specialty, but it's not promising in terms of money. I'll just end the salary issue there before I run into trouble. um, Janet is asking, do you have any idea about the kind of job my spouses can do in the UK? He is not a nurse like me. He is not a nurse like me. He is a document controller in an oil and gas company here in Nigeria. This brings me to my next topic, which is going to round up this live session, talking about the spousal jobs. So, one thing is, if you move to the UK with your spouse, getting jobs for your spouses can be challenging, especially because they are not in your profession. You know, nursing is hot cake. And if you want to do like their office jobs here, most of them require you to have that similar background, or that UK kind of experience. So sometimes getting your exact kind of job here is very challenging. I know a friend of mine whose husband is a banker. The lady is a nurse, the husband is a banker, but he's now a support worker here in the UK, like a health assistant. That is what most people do from the start. So initially, he would have to take up other roles that are not his kind of role to make up for the family before later he may get the oil and gas job if that is what he wants. But to get the oil and gas job right from the word go, it will take some time. He may get it, but it will take some time. So the husbands or the spouses have to be flexible. If you come across this video, just listen to what I'm saying. Please, if you are a spouse moving with an overseas nurse, please be flexible. Please be flexible. Understand your spouse, understand your partner. If the family has to keep running, and if you have to take up another role that is not your kind of job, calm down. Take up that role. With time, things get better. One thing I've learned in living in the UK is that with time, things get better. When you come, what do you know? You don't know anything. I did a video on sharing my embarrassing moment when I first came. People gave it a good laugh. If I tell you what even happened after that time, you even laugh more than the first one. Like, you have to do things to keep you running. But once you get to know how the system works, it's easier for you. So the husbands have to take, or the spouses have to take up roles. I mean, one interesting thing is the jobs that we call menial jobs back home, they are not menial jobs here, because the salary, if I tell you the salary a support worker will take, if you are back home, you won't make that money as a banker, as a minister or whatever. So you have to calm down, do those jobs, and I mean, with time, as you are doing those jobs, you are searching for what you think suits your kind of personality or your kind of documentation you have, so that you can, go into it. People are sales personnel, they are drivers, they are security, they work in the restaurant, they work in retail shops, they work in grocery shops, they are cleaners, and they make good money. They are making good money. It's not like it's bad. They are making reasonable money. They are support workers, and we have support work. We have HCA jobs that do not require you to have any medical background, any knowledge in medical field. You are just going to assist nurses. So it's a nurse that knows what she's doing. You just ask, what should I do? She will tell you. If she doesn't tell you, you are there. Is this one to a work? You don't stress, and you get paid. So that is one thing. But whilst you are doing that, if you are not happy with it, you look for another job to do. There are drivers here who earn more than nurses. Like the day I heard it, I was going mad. I was like, how come nurse, driver, you are earning more than me? Bus drivers, train drivers, ambulance drivers, they are making money, please. So the spouses have to be flexible, be ready to assist, be ready to support the home to keep it running until they get something that suits them. Wisdom is saying, can one request for only night duties or day? Yes. Wisdom, you can request for night duties, you can request for day duties. It all depends on you. In fact, some of the job adverts, they are very specific. They'll tell you we only want a night nurse, somebody who will just do just night. Some people will tell you we want a day nurse, somebody who do just day. Sometimes too, it's mixed. You do night, you do day. But when you see which one works best for you, you just tell your manager. Communication is key. Just tell them, I think I'll do night. They'll give you another form that you fill, showing that you are happy to do only night. As I said here, paper and pen is celebrated. So they have to document, making sure that you said you are happy, so that they don't run into one chance another day. So you sign that document stating that you are happy to work only nights and you go for it. Some people are mothers and they think night duty alone works best for them and they are doing it. Some think day duty works for me. They are doing it. So you just communicate, you tell them, and then they'll do the necessary for you. I really want to end this live stream. Let me answer these few questions and then Solomon says, hi, I'm in the process of coming and want to specialize. Then do my BSc. Is it possible? Of course, it's possible. Everything is possible. I have a girl in my unit. I don't know if she's watching this live. She did her BSc. I have people that have stories to tell. I just think I have to make time to permit those people to tell their stories so that you know what is happening. So she's a Nigerian trained nurse. She came here with a diploma. She did her degree here. She was on tier 2 visa. She was initially in the care home. Now she's in endoscopy nursing, which is a specialty unit. So you see how things work. Like there's flexibility. You can change at any time that you want. So you can specialize, you can do your BSc, you can do your MSc. And one thing is sometimes your trust or your employer even sponsors you to do the course. That is if it is relevant. So let's say you are in endoscopy, you want to become a nurse endoscopist. You tell your manager, like after you've worked for some time and you've proved yourself to be capable, you tell them, I want to do this nurse endoscopist course. They enroll you in. They have some monies they'll pay for you to go. You also help. You work as you are even doing. You are doing that course. You work so you can get money to fend for yourself, and then they also sponsor you halfway. You finish the course, you come back and you work. You continue your work as a nurse endoscopist. So that is it. You can specialize. You can do your BSc. You can do your masters. You can do whatever, as far as you are happy to do it. Jay is asking, is it's good you know what works for you. Yeah, so what works for you, you go for it. You go for it. You go for it. Whatever works for you, you go for it. Okay. Jacqueline is in the building and she's saying, is your husband joining you too? Jacqueline is asking. I don't know who Jacqueline is, but we'll talk more into details. We'll talk more into details, Jacqueline. Solomon is asking, working and studying at the same time, is it possible? Oh yeah, it's possible. I mean, it's possible. When I was in Ghana, I did my diploma first. I completed in 2012. So my diploma was from 2009 to 2012. I don't know if you've watched that video. I did a video comparing nursing in Ghana to nursing in UK. I spoke about my background. So I did my diploma nursing from 2009 to 2012. I took a long break because I was giving birth left, right, center. So I took a long break to give birth. After I gave birth, I went back in 2017 to do my BSc. I completed in 2019. Whilst I was about completing, I started my examination process and everything. So I think the day I was graduating, I already had my CBT and my English test, my OET. So you can work in school. Even here in UK, you can work in school at the same time. But your trust has to know, or your employer has to know that you are working, especially if it's online, like degree. You can do it online. So that one is even easy, just that it's a bit expensive. So you can work and school at the same time. It's possible. Um, let me see. Solomon is asking, what specialty has best overtime emergency care? Best overtime emergency care. What specialty? What specialty? Let me think. Let me think. Solomon, let me just put this on hold. I'll get back with a proper answer. I don't want to say anything I'm not sure of because there are a lot of specialties, but The best overtime I don't know of. So I'll get into it and I'll get you. My room is very hot. Let me turn off. Gosh, I'm, I'm burning. Okay, so that is it. I'll get back to you, Solomon, with a better answer. Okay, and Love is asking, when can you start your degree after coming in? If it is an online degree, it depends on the type of degree you are doing. If it's an online degree, once you have your money and you think you can sponsor yourself, you can start it. If it's online, you are good to go. If it's online and you have the money to sponsor it, you can sponsor it. But if it is a specialty degree, then you will need your trust or your employer to give you the go ahead, because you have to. It's not online. Most of their specialty is face to face, because you need some amount of, classroom uh, training or whatever they call it, to sign you off for that specialty. So you need to be in class. So with that one, your employer has to know, so that if they are doing your duty roster, they know when they'll put you off for you to go to school and when they'll put you on. So that one you have to tell your employer. But if it's online, like just any BSc, once you have your money, you can do it because you're doing it online. You don't have to go there in person. So I think I will end my live stream here. I have been streaming for 2 hours, guys. Don't you think I have done well? Give this video a thumbs up. I don't think there is any question for me at this moment. If you still have any questions, you just pop me an email or comment in one of my videos and I'll get back with a video explaining that. So I think I'll bring this session to an end and I'll see you another time. Thank you all for tuning in, for asking your questions. I hope I've done my best. Try to give the video a thumbs up before you go. Like it like this. Like just click like this. Bim. That is all. So that YouTube can promote the video for me, please. Thank you all for joining in my live stream. It's been a wonderful time having you all around, asking your questions. You've made me excited today, but the only unfortunate thing is I couldn't see anyone's face, but everyone is seeing my face. It's not fair. I should have seen all of your faces, but I know as time permits, we'll see each other. So we'll be meeting. If I start my interviews for overseas nurses or for migrant nurses, I'll let you guys know so that we know how to go about it. Either I'll come over to your end or you come over to my end, or we'll meet at a neutral place, or we'll have it online or anything. We'll see how we do it. So I'm going to end this live stream. If whoever missed this live stream can come back and watch it. Until we meet again in my next video, is bye for now. Bye guys. Bye.